it's Lucas here. So as you can tell by the title of this video, this is the truth of my broken leg. Now I know that's a little like, what the hell is Lucas talking about? The truth of his broken leg? What truth is there? He broke his leg because he's an idiot. There's a lot more to my broken leg than people realize. Now, so if you guys kind of remember in the video, in the videos leading up to when I broke my leg, I kept saying, oh, I'm going to be going on vacation soon, I'm going to be going on vacation soon. And the truth behind that was I was actually coming to Florida in October. Yeah, for a job. And obviously that didn't happen because I freaking broke my leg. I was going to be working with a very good friend of mine. And yeah, like I remember I was so pumped up for it. We had the hotel. We had everything figured out. We had kind of made some plans to go some special places while we were here. We were going to take our days off and come look at apartments in Orlando and stuff like that. Because we were going to be down south, South Florida, not Miami, but like Southwest Florida? Yeah, Southwest Florida. So our whole plan was, we had this whole plan, and then September 21st, I broke my leg. So yeah, that was quite the adventure of a broken leg. I just remember that day being, like, I'm trying to remember the day, and I remember the day being kind of like, I felt weird all day. Like I kind of had like a premonition, I suppose, if you will. My heart is racing really bad right now. I don't know if that's good or bad. That something weird was going to happen that day, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was going to be. Obviously, you don't know what you're going to break your freaking leg. Yeah, like, I just remember, like, all day I was like, oh, you know, and I was kind of, I think I was late, if I remember correctly. I was very late going to Alyssa's house, and so, like, I always think, like, and I'm always one of those people that is like the butterfly effect. Like, I am a strong believer that, you know, one action can change another action and blah, blah, blah. So maybe if I wouldn't have been late, I wouldn't have broke my leg. If we would have went, like, another thing is, like, if I would have went to, we were originally, so let me backtrack a little bit. We were originally supposed to go to Portillo's to do a review on my channel, and we switched that to Chili's, and I felt God in that Chili's that day, that's for sure.
And I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
My phone is going crazy right now because I'm keeping up to date with the Vegas Golden Knights game, so yeah, I apologize for all the weird sounds that are coming from my phone right now. Oh, and my phone just shut off, so we won't have to worry about that anymore. So, originally we were going to go to Portillo's and do a review, and then we were like, oh, let's go to Chili's. And I was like, okay. And yeah, like I said, the butterfly effect. Like, maybe if we would have gone to Chili's, I never would have broke my leg. I would have been in Florida. I would have had good vlogs for you guys. Blah, 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 blah. It's just like this weird thing. And then, like, I don't know, guys. It was just a weird, like, butterfly effect type of thing. So I'm going to take you guys kind of step by step what happened from the time that we parked to the time that I broke my leg, which was like a minute and a half. So, or I guess the timeline of the rest of the day and after and post breaking my leg. So like I said, Alyssa and I were supposed to go to Portillo's. We didn't do that. We went and got Starbucks, and that's when the whole thing where this whole clip came in. Guys, I have an announcement. Alyssa and I are having a baby.
We're having the Antichrist.
And then we got to her house, and I was walking up this hill, and I, like, lost my footing and tripped, and I uttered words very similar to this.
I think I just broke my leg. I think I really broke my leg.
So I was like, I broke my leg. And Alyssa goes, no, you didn't. You're fine. Get up. And I was like, no, I think I really broke my leg. And she's like, oh my God, what should I do? And I was like, call 911 because I can't get up. And another funny thing about that is I was double fisting some drinks. I had coffee in one hand and I had a Starbucks like refresher in the other. And I swear to you that if I would have not have had the Dunkin' Donuts cup in my hand, I legitimately probably would have broken my wrist, because when I fell, the cup went, like, I was holding the cup. I don't have a cup with me, otherwise I would show you guys. But I had the cup, and I went like that, and, like, if I wouldn't have had the cup, I feel like I would have fallen on my wrist like this and just went bend it backwards, and it would have not been good. And I might have broken my jaw as well, or my nose or something like that. Just a whole mess of what would have happened. So I always kind of, it's like a little joke that I actually was saved by a Dunkin' Donuts cup. We got into the ambulance, they got me, and I thought my leg wasn't broken, honestly. I didn't think it was broken at first. After they took my leg and they bent it forward, and, like, because I landed, like, you know those in a movie, when they break their leg, or they fall and they break their leg, it's like bent backwards. I was literally bent. My leg was bent behind me, and they straightened it. I was like, oh, maybe I just tore my quad or something, and it's something that can be easily fixed, and I can still go down to Florida and work. But we'll get to that in a minute. So they get me in the ambulance, and they're like, how much pain are you in? I was like, oh, it's like a 3. It was. I was not hardly in any pain. And then they asked me, like, oh, what does it feel like? And I said, these are my exact words. I go, it's hard to explain this, and you're not going to understand what I'm saying by this, but it feels like the TV, like, it feels staticky in my leg, like where my bone was. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's what it feels like right now. They're like, oh, okay. So, get to the hospital, and thankfully, Alyssa was there. She was right behind us in the ambulance. Or not in the ambulance, she was right behind me in her car, and from behind the ambulance. You know what I'm saying. I'm, like, losing my mind.
Okay, guys, so per Lucas, he wants me to vlog this moment because he's pretty sure that he broke something.
I think I just broke my leg.
Yeah, at my house. So we are currently at the emergency room. We, as in I'm in the car by myself, and Lucas is waiting on a room in there. I'm about to go inside, but he just texted me and was like, you better be vlogging this, so, we're vlogging it. So yeah, fun stuff. All right, I'm gonna go in, see how Lucas is doing. So, Lucas.
I get into the not the OR, the ER, and they're like, the nurse comes in, who, by the way, looked very much like Nita Strauss, and that's one thing that I remember. And I remember telling her, I was like, you look very familiar, and I don't know why I remember you. And I didn't remember this until like 3.5 months later. I was like, oh, she looked like Nita Strauss. But yeah, so that was that, and then, like, I just sat there, laid there for like 25-30 minutes, I believe. And the doctor finally came in, and she's like, oh, we're gonna take some x-rays. What happened? She's like, oh, it looks a little swollen, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, we're going to take some x-rays. So, oh, by the way, I just changed my background on my computer. Look at that. I didn't know that I did that. My screensaver. Okay, anyway, onwards and forwards. So, she's like, okay, we're going to do an x-ray. And this is when I knew it was broken. When I went to do an x-ray, and I had to...
Okay, guys, so Lucas wanted me to let you guys know that he's getting x-rayed right now. So, he's in a private room at the hospital in the emergency room, and they just sent him off to get some x-rays, so hopefully it's not too bad. Still think he broke something, but we will find out what he broke exactly. So yes, get lit on a Friday night, y'all.
Bend my knee like that, like when I was laying down, and I couldn't bend my knee. I said, it hurts too much, it feels so weird. Now, I had broken my leg 10 years prior to this. Yeah, 10 years prior to this. So that's when I realized that it was broken, when I couldn't bend it. And I'm like, okay, not good. So get back to the room, and Alyssa's in there, thank God. And because I was like, this was the first time I'd ever been to the emergency room without my mom. So, like, I was kind of tripping, not gonna lie. I was kind of getting a little emotional. Sitting in there, and I'm like, I think it's broken. I told her, you know, about the leg bending. She's like, oh, that sucks. What are you going to do? And I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to Florida anymore. Because I hadn't told anybody that I was going to Florida. I had not told anybody. Maybe, like, just, like my family knew, like my immediate family knew, and then I had told Alyssa like maybe 3 weeks before that, 2 weeks before that, or something. So nobody really knew that I was going to Florida, and now everybody knows. But yeah, so I was like, I can't go to Florida, I guess. She's like, well, you know, you don't know. And doctor comes in with the X-ray. She's looking at it. She's looking at it, scrolling. She's like, oh, it looks okay. It looks okay. Oh, she's scrolling. She's looking. I'm doing this with my finger, like I'm scrolling through a mouse. She's like looking at it. She's like, oh, it looks okay. And she's like, oh no, it's fractured. It's broken. I was like, great, lovely. Not sure what we're gonna do. And she's like, do you have like a doctor here, an ortho doctor? I was like, no, all my doctors are in Madison. She's like, well, we can figure out what we want to do. I said, I'm gonna call my mom, because at this point I had to call my mom. I had called Kevin, and he was at work, so he didn't answer. And I had called Jody, I believe, and she's like, I FaceTimed her, and she's like, or no. I called my mom, and then I called Jody, because I called Kevin first, because I don't know why I called Kevin first, but I called Kevin, and then I called my mom, and then I called Jody, because I wanted like Alyssa was there, but I was like, I need somebody else here, like to get me off of like whatever's going on with my leg. So Jody's like, oh, I was right down the street. So I was like, oh, okay. So she came and hung out, and it's so funny. Like, a lot of places are like very strict when it comes to emergency room, but they just let everybody in. So my mom and my aunt came up, and I remember calling my mom, and I didn't know what to say. And so I just go, Mom? She's like, what? What happened? I said, I broke my leg. She's like, oh, no. Rewind. I said, Mom? She's like, what? I said, I have some bad news. She's like, what? I said, I broke my leg. And she starts freaking out. She's like, oh my God, where are you at? What hospital are you at? Are you in for some reason she thought I was in Madison I think. She's like, where are you at? Who's with you? Are you alone? I was like, no, Jody's here. No, Jody, I said, I'm going to call Jody, see if her and Kevin, or her or Kevin will come. Alyssa's here with me, blah, blah, blah. So I get, I might be getting this confused. Maybe I did call Jody first, and then, I think I called Jody and then my mom, because I don't remember, this was a while ago. So, a year ago. So, anyway, I was like, Jody's on her way, or I'm going to call Jody and have her, Kevin come. And she's like, okay, I'll be up there as soon as I can. My mom got there in like 20 minutes, and we were a good 45 minutes away from where we lived. My mom's a speed demon. We're sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. The doctor comes in like, okay, do you want to go to Madison? Do you want to stay here and have it done? And nothing against Rockford, nothing against any of that hospital that I was at, but I just felt more comfortable in Madison. Like, do you guys understand what I mean by that? Like, Madison is my home. To me, like my second home, like Illinois and then Wisconsin. Those are my two homes. So I felt more comfortable being in Wisconsin. So I was like, can we get an ambulance to Wisconsin, please? And I was like, if I have to like drive myself, I'll drive myself, even though that wasn't gonna happen. So they cast my leg up, not cast it, but like put a temporary cast on. I go up to Madison. Thankfully, Alyssa stayed with me for 6 hours, and I just want to say, Alyssa, if you're watching this, thank you so much. You were like my guardian angel that day. You literally like, I know it's like a little joke between us that you saved my life, but you really did. Like, if I had nobody, I probably would have died somewhere. I mean, I probably would have called 911, but you know what I mean. So thank you so much. You were such an immense help for staying with me for 6 hours in the ER, and then like you literally were calling, or not calling, you were texting me every day, Snapchatting me every day. Just, you know, and it's awesome. Thank you so much. And you were awesome. Thank you so much. Ambulance gets there. My mom and my aunt left, and Jody had left. Kevin, I don't even remember what Kevin said. He's like, he probably was freaking out too. So yeah, ambulance gets there. We get up, or I get up to Madison. My mom's up there. And this is where this is the part that I've never told anybody, except for like my close family and friends. I never put it on Facebook. I never put it in a video, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that. So, Get up to the ER, and I have to go through the ER, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I've had to go through the ER before. Get to the ER, and they're like, and the ambulance crew is like, oh, we have Lucas Starr here, and they're like, okay, trauma 1. I'm like, oh, maybe they're just full of rooms. I look down a hallway, and I'm like, oh my god, I see like eight doctors in this room, and I'm like, holy shit, what is about to happen right now? Um, so they get me in there, they put me on the bed, they lay me flat, they're like, they start doing all this stuff, like, we gotta get these clothes off of him, blah 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 blah. They cut my clothes off of me, except for my Shane Dawson shirt, because I told them that was sacred, even though that shirt is bad luck. I love you, Shane, but that shirt's bad luck. So they start cutting all my clothes off, my shorts, my underwear, everything. It was very humiliating in a way, because for one, I felt fine, and for two, I was like, this is stupid. Like, I literally broke my leg. I know what's wrong. I'm not concussed. I've been in the emergency room for 6 hours. And maybe part of it was because I hadn't had any pain medicine yet. And that's a little bit going backwards a little bit. The nurse comes in, and the doctor, and the nurse goes, you got a little bit of a crazy one on your hands. He hasn't had any pain medicine. He's refusing it. Which, by the way, I wasn't refusing it. I just felt like I didn't need it. I have a very high pain tolerance. So for all you nurses watching, like, I know that you probably hear, I have a high pain tolerance, but I've been to hell and back twice, and I had a high pain tolerance. So anyway, onwards and forwards that. They start feeling down my back. They're like, oh, does this hurt? I'm like, yes, that hurts. I have scoliosis. So then they're like, okay, we have to do a CT scan. We can't sit you up until we do a CT scan. Blah, 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 blah. And then my mom gets there, and they're like, the doctor comes. I forgot who the doctor was. I think it was Dr. W. was the original doctor that I saw. He's like, all right, we have to do surgery first thing tomorrow morning. I'm like, oh, okay. By the way, this was 11:45 at night that they tell me this. I haven't eaten except at like noon, so it's been like 12 hours since I've eaten almost. I was starving to death, and then they're like, okay, we have to do surgery. We don't have any time to get you any food, blah, blah, blah. Take me up to a room. They ask me all these shit pile of questions, and they asked me this shit pile of questions, and I'm almost like, oh my god. I was super tired. My mom was super tired. I was nervous because I was supposed to have surgery tomorrow, or the next day, or technically that day at that point. And then I get to sleep. I wake back up at like 6:30 a.m. Or I get to sleep, not back to sleep. I get to sleep and I wake up at 6:30. Doctor comes in at 7. The break doesn't look that severe. We don't need to do surgery. We're just going to put him in a brace. Insert the picture of the brace now. As you can probably tell, that brace is huge. Yeah, so that happened. And then they're like, oh, this brace isn't working. We're going to put you in a cast. Insert picture of the cast. So that cast went from my growing to my foot, which was very uncomfortable, and it hurt very much. So then the next day, they're like, let me rewind. Rewind. So, it keeps thinking it's 7:34, and it's like 10:05. It's 10:14. So, they're like, okay, we're not going to do surgery. You can eat, be happy. We're going to put you in a brace, and we're going to do physical therapy. So, the brace obviously was too big. So, then they're like, okay, we're going to do this, and then they put the cast on. The timeline's a little blurry. At this point, I still hadn't had any pain medicine because I'm insane. I went 3.5 days without pain meds. Monday night, I have this cast on. I get this cast on Monday morning, I believe. Yeah, Monday morning. Because Saturday they put the brace on, or Friday they put the brace on. Friday? No, they didn't do anything. I just sat there with a bare leg for a day. That's what happened. Saturday, they put the brace on. Sunday, they're like, oh, we're going to put a cast on. Nobody was there to do a cast, apparently. Monday morning, they put the cast on, retake the x-ray. They're like, oh, yeah, your leg's more broken than it was before. I was like, oh, great. Doctor comes in. He's like, I'm going to have my colleague do surgery on you probably in the next couple of days. They didn't know when. So this was Monday afternoon. I have my dinner ordered at like 3 o'clock so I could watch TV at 7. And just because that's the thing that I like to do. And 7:30 comes around. I was like, oh, I didn't get my dinner yet. 7:45, oh, no dinner. 9 o'clock, no dinner. Call the nurse. Oh, you have surgery tomorrow. Oh, cool. Doctor comes in that morning, is like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a freaking rod in your leg. I'm like, cool. So they put this rod in my leg, right? And then they have pins and screws and all this jazz. It's crazy. And then after that, it was pretty much smooth sailing. Like, I did a little physical therapy, which I feel like I zoomed through. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I felt like. Zoomed through the physical therapy at the hospital, went home, and yeah, like, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the whole story of my broken leg, abridged. So yeah, but I don't know, guys. Like, it was a crazy time, crazy moment in my life. It was like one of the worst months. My grandma had passed away, and then I broke my leg, and I couldn't go to Florida to do this job. Just a mess, guys. It was a mess. But I do believe that I'm a stronger person through it. Hashtag #StarrStrong. Get your shirts now, and your bracelets, all the merch. I'll get all the merch. Get all the Lucas Starr merch. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, guys. That's the true story of my broken leg. I probably put some more clips in here, just because why not? I know pictures and stuff like that. This is going to be a bitch to edit, but I don't care. It's be worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a weird one. It's been a long one. I've been talking for what seems like forever. It's been 25 minutes. But I've edited some stuff out, I hope. Yeah, I know I did. But, like I said, thank you to everybody who supported me when I had my broken leg. I appreciate you all so much. Just a little special thanks to, obviously, my mom, my aunt, Jody, Alyssa, Kevin, the endorsement, Janet, Mark, Teresa, everybody who took care of me. A very, 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 very special thank you to Madison, my cousin Madison, who just celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago. She literally came and took care of me when my mom was at work. So if it wasn't for her, I don't know what I would have done. Very, very special thanks to her. She's my favorite person ever. But yeah, guys, that's the true story of how I broke my leg. I know this was long. I know this was crazy, but yeah. Also, a little special thank you to the doctors and the nurses at UW for literally fixing me and saving my. Saving my life is a little harsh because I wasn't near death, but just thank you, UW, for always being the hospital that can deal with my ass. I know I can be stubborn, and you probably thought I was crazy because I didn't take my medicine or my pain pills, I guess. But yeah. Just thank you to everybody who was there at the time. If you came and visited me, if you called me, text me, all that good stuff. I want to thank you guys so much for that. That's my leg-iversary story, how I broke my leg story. Broken leg, I don't know what I'm going to call it. True story of how I broke my leg, I guess. But yeah, song of the day. I feel it's apropos to do a Foo Fighters song. And we're going to do Learning to Fly, because I kind of had to learn to walk again. Also, special thank you to my doctor for fixing my knee, because my knee was all jacked up and now it's not jacked up. Thank you, Dr. Whiting. You're the best. Anyway, Learning to Fly, song of the day. I hope you guys had an awesome day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel, you can do so at paypal.me/LAStar13. You can buy my shirts. If you want a shirt, let me know. I will make this for you and send it to you from my own house. My mom's house, actually. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, as always. Peace and rock on. Boing!